Hello there guys and welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to be talking about arena crystals, and this is a question that I get in pretty much every second stream. Therefore I decided to make a video addressing the issue so I can guide people to this video should they happen to ask me again, and perhaps some of you do find it helpful even if you were not specifically looking for it. Right, so I get frequently asked question. And the question is very simple. Do I go for regular arena crystals that cost 2,000 battle chips, or I go for uncollected arena crystals that cost 10,000 battle chips? Because effectively, the crystals are nearly identical, except for one addition in the uncollected arena crystals, which is obviously Punisher 2099, sorry, OG Punisher, that I'm gonna discuss a bit later on. But the base principles of regular arena crystal and uncollected arena crystal are exactly the same. Every single drop value in uncollected arena crystal is multiplied by 5. So for example, if you were to pull 45 units in regular arena crystal, and the same corresponding pull on uncollected arena crystal would be 225 units. And similarly, if you were to pull 3,000 gold, then in uncollected arena crystal you were to pull 15,000 gold. The question is, which ones are better? And the answer lies in the idea of statistics and statistical probabilities. You see, the best comparison that I typically find myself using is a simple coin toss. Imagine uncollected arena crystal as one coin toss for £5. Let's say you're betting whether it's going to be heads or tails. Should you happen to win, you get £5. So you have one entry, one try, and the end result is going to be very simple. Whether you're going to get £5 or you're going to get nothing. Now, for the same amount of entry cost, which is 10,000 battle chips in the game, or in my example, £5, you can also bet 5 coin tosses, each for £1. And in the second scenario, where you toss the coin 5 times, it is extremely unlikely that you will walk away with £5, but it's also extremely unlikely that you'll walk away with £0, which was a 50-50 shot before, now is looking like a lot different. And statistically, you're going to walk away with £2.5, so basically 2 or 3 pounds, most likely. Obviously, you can get still extremely unlucky and get nothing, or get extremely lucky and get your £5. Right, so as an example, we can use the simple coin toss bell curve. So when you have 100 RNG entries, so let's say you were opening 100 regular arena crystals, statistically, you're going to land up somewhere in half quite reliably. Let's say it is very likely that you're going to end up somewhere where this bell curve peaks and the rest of the outcomes are extremely unlikely. However, when you reduce the entries of RNG down by 5, it would be very much more likely that you end up on either end of them because of limited amount of RNG entries. And yeah, that basically corresponds to the example that I explained. Regular arena crystals, basically, long story short, too long didn't read version, are safer. You are statistically going to walk away with the average amount of units, which is said to be around 2,000 units per 1 million battle chips. When you open uncollected crystals, it is much more likely that you're going to walk away with 1,000 or 3,000, let's say. So, going for uncollected arena crystals is just a bit bigger of a gamble because you get less RNG entries, so it's much easier to get either very lucky or very unlucky. So, the answer is very simple. It entirely depends on you because crystals by themselves are effectively the same. If you feel like you're a lucky person and you typically feel like this game gives you great RNG, go for uncollected, risk more. You will either get more or less units depending how you're lucky. But if you want to be cautious, if you want to be statistically on the safe side, stick with regular arena crystals, and then you statistically will much more likely hit the statistical average of the unit output, which is about 2,000 units per 1 million battle chips. And the last point, obviously, to discuss is the only difference between those crystals, which is addition of a 5-star Punisher and the fact that it is more likely to pull a 4-star Punisher in uncollected arena crystals. And this is something that you can't outweigh statistically. This is a very simple personal evaluation, how much you care about 5-star Punisher, whether you want to get that champion, whether you think it is worth risking more every time you open arena crystals, missing out on units, or whether you don't care for Punisher too much in particular. Now, since the game has shifted to 6 stars for many people, myself included, because I do happen to be playing towards the TP top of the game, I don't particularly care whether I pull 5-star Punisher or not. And for most part, most often, I personally choose to go for regular arena crystals on any small to medium-sized battleship openings. And when I open a ton of crystals, I might as well go for Uncollected, because I will still have plenty of RNG entry points, and statistically it will give me better chance of landing somewhere in the middle. So for my personal habits, whenever I open 100, 200, 300, 400,000 battleships, I go for regular ones, or if you pop them, I don't know, daily for 20,000 at a time, whatever. But if you do hoard up several million of them, it's probably safe enough to go for Uncollected to let you land somewhere in the middle of the bell curve and let you get about average amount of units, plus give you the chance for a 5-star. So, I know this video might not have been as straightforward as some of you liked it, but that is the ultimate answer. Ultimately, it is entirely your preference, whether you feel lucky or not. Uncollected arena crystals are, simply put, riskier. They cost more, but they award more, but you get less chances to try. So if you were to play, I don't know, roulette or some spinning slot machines, you'd be simply gambling for larger amount of money, but with less spins, or you want to gamble for less amount of money with more spins. It's up to you to decide. But yeah, that is pretty much it for today's video. I will not stretch it out any longer. I do hope that some of you find this useful, or at the very well interesting. If you do disagree with my examples or the way that I am trying to explain it, please do let me know in comment section what kind of better example would you come up with. But that is at the very least kind of like the limit of my understanding of the difference between regular or uncollected arena crystals. Obviously, it's not as straightforward as a coin toss, because there are different outcomes. There are gold, there are several values of gold, there are a couple values of units, there are energy refills, some other drops. Therefore, the chart of probability would look somewhat different, but the idea would still remain the same, I think. Anyways, that really is it for now, and I hope you guys, once again, found this video useful, and I'll catch you guys next time. See ya! Hello there, guys, and welcome back to the channel. So we have all the information about